People who share intimate details about their bedroom life with their friends. Why? In my personal experience, this has to be more of a girl thing. Conversations with my mates around sex usually go, mate, I brought a girl back to mine on Saturday, me. Was she hot and did you smash? Mate, yes and yes, no and yes, eyes and no and no. I know nothing about the sex life of my friends in committed relationships, and I wouldn't tell them about mine. It's impolite to kiss and tell, and a fella ought to be aware of it. One day your friend is going to marry one of these people, and every time you meet them for the rest of your life you're going to think, oh, this is the guy with the cone penis, or yes, low-hanging labia lady. Everyone should keep in mind that sharing intimate details about your partner isn't just potentially disrespectful to your partner, it puts a burden of awkwardness on your friend that can last a lifetime. I think some folks just have no filter and find it liberating. Or maybe they're trying to normalize stuff that still feels taboo. Either way, hard pass on hearing about my friend's weird kinks over brunch. I feel like it was more normal in my early 20s and late teens when sex was fairly new to us, but now that we are all headed into our 30s we don't do that anymore. In my experience, none of my guy friends have done this. I haven't heard a guy go into detail about sex since like high school when people first started having it. Dudes aren't really interested in hearing details about what other guys do with their dicks, lol. We be like, did you hit that? And then we congratulate them if the answer is yes. And that's about as far as most stories go. But most of my ex-GFs have admitted to sharing intimate details about our sex life with their friends, and they always acted completely casual about it too. Like it was perfectly normal. I think women talk about us the way they must assume we talk about them. But guys don't really do that as much as women probably think we do. If it's a random encounter I have no problem sharing. Why? Because it's interesting and funny. I'm mostly talking about weird or embarrassing stuff and poking fun at myself. Like the time I was so drunk that I passed out during the act, or about a particular girl that was very toothy, or strange locations that hookups have occurred. To me it's not much different from telling my friends about other interesting stuff that's happened in my life. Men might talk more shit, but women are scarily detail-oriented. You should not share intimate moments with people who weren't there. That should not be news to anyone. Just to clarify, a close friend of mine insists on doing this despite me telling her repeatedly that it makes me feel very uncomfortable. It led to a fight and I'm left wondering if I oughta edit, spelling error. Honestly, to each their own, but I kinda don't talk about it out of respect of my partner. She's someone I hope to marry soon and want all my friends and family to like, so I'd prefer they not see her in another light. My wife and I will share very surface level details. Never anything that would upset each other. People take themselves too seriously. It's weird. I don't want to know about your dick or your girl squirting, lol. As far as I know, this is a women thing. Rarely do men talk about their partners like that if their relationship is serious. Honestly, I've always wondered that too. Like, is there a TMI threshold we're just ignoring now? I know if I was the subject of that sort of conversation, I would feel wildly disrespected. Cause my coworkers and I are weirdos who don't really care. So our conversations go from a range of topics. Some women feel a sense of camaraderie and bonding through sharing of details like that. I feel like a lot of female friendships are less to do with activities and more to do with conversation. I think it's good in the sense that it helps women be more open and comfortable with themselves, sexual people, as people with their own needs. It also helps us gauge what's normal, especially given that so much of what we see in the media is distorted. However, I think it's fair for a spouse to feel uncomfortable about it. And it's not an unreasonable request for you to ask her to tone it down if you think that it's going to have a detrimental effect on the trust in your relationship. Guys almost never talk about their wives' girlfriends unless there is a genuine problem they need advice about from another guy. Or a quick "I hooked up last night." Nice quick update. Certainly no sexual details. Women, on the other hand, know literally every gory detail there is to know. My wife has a lot of social circles, so I hang out with her women friends a lot along with her, and man, I know way too much about their sex lives and their husband-boyfriend's intimate body details. I wonder, is this just a USA culture thing? Or do guys never talk about their sex lives and women tell each other everything worldwide? I don't go out of my way to talk about it, but if it comes up I don't beat around the bush. I find it fun to talk about things that are traditionally taboo or uncomfortable. I prefer to be open and honest, and I sort of just want to break the barrier when it comes to uncomfortable subjects. That being said, if you told someone it makes you uncomfortable, they should respect that and not talk about it. I share things to be open and reduce stigma. For example, I just had surgery and can't do typical bedroom activity. We just so happen to be trying for a second child and my wife is ovulating. So we bought some insemination kits, which are just overpriced sanitized syringe plungers, and that's what we've been using. Told the guys about this, and it's humorous, but also enlightening. All good reasons, and this can be an option for couples trying to conceive. Cheers!